Fox 10 News is back.
An investigation in Avondale tonight when someone was found with a gunshot inside of a car.
Yeah, this happened this morning near Central and Buckeye Road. The victim was taken to the hospital and is said to be in extremely critical condition. Detectives are still trying to figure out what led up to this shooting. Police have not released any details about the victim, and it's unclear if they're actively looking for a suspect.
Phoenix voters are picking 2 city council members today in runoff elections. In District 6, it's Kevin Robinson versus Sam Stone. That includes voters in Biltmore, Ahwatukee, Arcadia, and North Central neighborhoods. Robinson is a former assistant police chief in Phoenix and an ASU professor. Stone was previously the chief of staff for outgoing Councilman Sal DiCiccio and a policy advisor for Carrie Lake's failed campaign for governor. In District 8, which covers South Phoenix and downtown, it's incumbent Carlos Garcia and Kesha Hodge Washington. Garcia started on the council in 2019. He is the co-founder of the Puente Human Rights Movement. And Washington is a former assistant attorney general and has practiced law in Phoenix for 2 decades. Polls close tonight at 7 p.m. and the winners will take office on April 17th for a 4-year term.
A new poll shows former President Trump neck and neck with Ron DeSantis, even though the Florida governor hasn't announced whether he'll run for the White House in 2024.
In the meantime, President Biden is still mum on his plans, instead focusing on gun control today. Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
2 Floridians are in a dead heat for the 2024 Republican nomination. On Monday, former President Donald Trump took aim at his chief political rival.
Ron DeSantis. Did anyone ever hear of DeSantis? The sanctimonious.
A new CNN poll says 40% of Republicans back Trump as the GOP nominee, compared to 36% for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a virtual tie. Iowa voters got to see these 2 frontrunners. They had trips to the Hawkeye State days apart. The Florida governor drew a crowd of about 1,000. Trump's audience was double that.
It's the young buck who's now challenging the alpha buck. But I don't think that Trump has really even taken his gloves off yet.
Both Trump and DeSantis have aligned on some major issues, like the war in Ukraine. DeSantis is taking heat for calling it a territorial dispute.
This is not like Michigan and Ohio trying to decide where the border should be near Toledo. This is an illegal invasion.
Republicans prioritize a nominee with their same views over one with a strong chance to beat President Biden. The president is keeping his re-election plans a mystery, but he's signing an executive order on gun control Tuesday before attending a DNC fundraiser.
I'm here with you today to act.
The president remains a prolific fundraiser, even though he's not yet announced. He helped raise about $1 million at a Democratic National Committee fundraiser on Monday night. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
February's inflation report is out, and it shows a slight improvement for consumers, but prices remain stubbornly high. Inflation rose 0.4% last month, slightly better than January, but still well below where the Federal Reserve's target rate is, which could mean more rate hikes on the horizon. A new report comes out on the heels of the medium-sized banks, 2 of them that failed last week, the biggest collapses since 2008.
It's our money, and we didn't invest somewhere that went down. We put it in a checking account at 0 interest rate.
I do think that this issue that we're having in the banking sector is not going to go away, sadly.
The Federal Reserve meets next week and could raise rates at that time. Wall Street bounced back today, recovering some of its losses from Monday. The Dow gained 336 points. The S&P added 64, the Nasdaq 240. Bank stocks did rally today, but there are still concerns, as you heard, for the industry. And Moody's Investor Service placed 6 more banks on a review for potential rating downgrades.
A major airline is taking steps to prevent another winter meltdown. Southwest Airlines has revealed a 3-part plan to avoid a repeat of that massive disruption of its systems that happened over the holiday season. Southwest will invest in a better system to upgrade the way it schedules and uses its crew and update its customer phone systems. It will purchase additional de-icing trucks, it says, and upgrade winter equipment and staff. And it will have one senior leader directing teams, they say, so its operation runs smoother. Southwest was forced to cancel thousands of flights back in December. In health headlines tonight, Novo Nordisk announcing it's cutting the prices of several insulin products by up to 75%. The Danish pharmaceutical company confirming the price changes will take effect January 1st, 2024. The company is following in the footsteps of Eli Lilly, a competitor that announced that it was slashing its prices of insulin products earlier this month.
Lunchables are going back to school. Kraft Heinz is bringing the ready-to-eat packaged meals to school cafeterias nationwide next fall. The 2 new varieties were reformulated to meet federal nutrition guidelines, making them different than the ones you see in the grocery store. The options include turkey and cheddar, crackers, stackers, and extra cheesy pizza. Sounds good to me. All right, some brand new stories coming up on Fox 10 Extra News at 7.
That is something that you would eat for dinner today, Brian.
Me, yeah. How can you lose with Lunchables, right? There's no cleanup, there's no cooking.
Oh my gosh.
You just
Ellen,
shovel them in your
preview
mouth.
of what's coming up on the 7?
I do. You know, I was always mad because my mom would never let us eat Lunchables. She would never buy them. We had to make our own.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
we
wow.
had to use crackers and like cold cuts.
That's a haunting childhood memory.
Terrible. I am still mad to this day.
It's amazing you
Yeah.
lasted this long.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, coming up at 7 o'clock.